Hello and welcome, I am Raziel and today it's the Battleforces. Now let's just clear something up. No, the leaks probably did not lead to this being announced so soon. It is the end of October and this is when they're usually announced. So yeah, I knew these were coming. There you go, this was nothing to be unexpected at this time of the year. And there are 6 Warhammer 40k Battleforces. And I gotta say, I kind of like most of them. I think they're all pretty good. There's one I do not like at all, but we'll get to that when we do. They are, for the most part, pretty good, and I think they look pretty cool. So, first is the Leagues of Votann. Seriously, this is one of the best ones. You've got 2 vehicles. One of them is the Land Fortress, which is a £70 model on its own. So you have 2 big models, and one of them is definitely going to be your centerpiece. You also have that named character, Grim, what's his name? I don't know, but he is a named character. I'm not a big fan of Leagues of Votann. I've never been... This isn't going to get me to go over them, but I've got to say, this is a decent looking box. Nice big models. You have a named character. You have the Sagittarius ATV. You Land Fortress. So yeah, I've got to say. Nice model. Nice box. Pretty good. Next is an Orc Beast Snaggers Stampede. Another big model straight away, and of course 2 of them, the big 2 squigs. Like I said, this is what makes... Actually, there's 3, I just noticed. You also got this knob on the squig as well. So you've got like 3 nice big models there, which can be really good for your centerpiece sets. Nice way of like building your army around this, and orcs are usually pretty cool anyway. And I do like that big orc vehicle. I've always thought it looks pretty cool. Is it Kill Rig? Yeah, I like it. I think it looks like a big model. It's also an expensive model. I know how it... That is one of a few models I actually didn't want to get because it is really pricey for a orc model. It is £85. So already we've seen 2 boxes having quite large expensive models in them, which is pretty good, though it might also offset the price somewhat. I mean, that could make the orc box at least £150, and that's where I would probably draw the line on expenditure here. £150 is quite a lot, even to start an army. Even if it's even if it saves you money, it's still quite a bit for a single box. Cadian Defense Force. Okay, Cadians usually get one. I don't really know what to say about this. It's not too bad. You get 2 Rogal Dawns with their missing bottoms as always, and you get some, you get your 20 infantry. It's basically an artillery box for tanks. It's for your tank heavy army. It's not going to be an infantry force this. I mean, get the combat patrol on the side of it, so you'd have 40 infantry, 2 tanks, sentinel, and your field ordnance battery as well. Would definitely be worth getting. Yeah, it's not a bad box. It's not what I would say was a great box. If it was the Imperial Guard, I would have preferred more infantry and maybe a couple of sentinels again. But I can't complain. It's 2 Rogal Dawns, again, expensive tanks. They're £55, I think, at the moment. £55 to £60 at the moment. So, again, we're looking at about £125 to £150 for this box. I quite like it, though I don't do Cadians, I do Catachans. It's a good starter box for someone. You've got tanks, which are great for your Imperial Guard, and you have plenty of infantry, but not too many. Right, I'm going to just skip over Space Marines and go straight to Tyrannids. Okay, Tyrannids, again, 2 big monsters, 2 big centerpieces, the Norn Queen Emissary and the Hive Tyrant. A ringed Hive Tyrant it shows there, but you can make that into any other Hive Tyrant. Even a Swarm Lord, so you have a bit of choices there. You have Gene Stealers, Termagants, and Hormagaunts, which is fantastic. This is what makes it a good box. You have a nice selection of models. You have a nice there's lots of differences there. Get this with a starter set to really build up your army cheaply. I reckon you could get 2 for less for £200, and you'd have a nice starter Tyrannid army set for yourself, because you have your Psychophage, your Tyrannid Prime, plenty of Termagants, plenty of Hormagaunts, plenty of Gene Stealers. Definitely worth getting. It's a nice box. Anything with 2 nice centerpieces, or even 1 big one, is usually worth getting. And again, the Norn Queen Emissary is a quite an expensive model. It's not one that goes really cheap. So we're seeing a lot of models going, a lot of big, expensive models in these. I do like the Non-Queen Emissary. It's a £70 model. So yeah, honestly, another good box. Lots of variation. This is the sort of Tyrannid army I like. I've got to say, this would actually make me look at getting a Tyrannid army because it's all varied. There's no repetition of models, and I really do like that. The Exalted Red Angel, the one with Angron. I don't ever know if this is a weak box or a bad box, because Angron's an expensive model. He is the most expensive one out of all the main boxes. He is the most expensive. He's £100 on his own, or 105. I think it's £100 because I've just got Magnus, and you get some Berserkers and some of those other guys, the eightfold, whatever they're called, and yeah, 10 Berserkers and 8 bound. That's what they're called. So you don't get that much, but you get a nice centerpiece again. You get one nice elite, a nice troop choice. It's not actually a bad box, but I think this one is dependent how much you're going to pay. This is probably going to be one of the cheapest boxes, mainly because Berserkers are 40 quid and the 8 bound are, I believe, the same. And let's double check it out. It's 2 boxes of 8 pounds, so it's £75. So it's £225. Okay, round about that price, round about £225 individually. If we knock £100 off that for Angron, well, that's £125. I would say it would be about 130, 140 as well, because Angron is such an expensive model. But again, he is a nice model, and this is again a nice centerpiece for your army. So basically all of these have a nice centerpiece. You have the Land Fortress, the Kill Rig, a Rogal Dawn tank, the Norn Emissary or Hive Tyrant, and of course Angron. So yeah, gotta say, those are really good, and I like them. And even like some might turn my head towards a certain army. No, like Tyrannid, definitely. However, when I look at the Space Marine one, this looks phoned in. This absolutely looks phoned in. This is like the worst one I have seen in a long, long time. It's Assault Marines, bikes, and an ATV. That's it. That's absolutely despicable. This is a phoned in box. This is not a box that anyone should ever get. At all. And I wish I was being, hyperbolic with this, because the intercessors, are £35. So that's, what's that, 20 of those, I think. 15, so that's 105. The ATV isn't that much either. That's one of the cheapest models Games Workshop does for the Space Marines. Yeah, that's 30. So it's about £170 on its own. And I'll be honest with you, if you just get the starter set, you probably just get the bikes and a box of intercessors on top, and get a better army. Okay, that's the way I would do it, and that's all I would do. I honestly wouldn't get the Space Marine box. This is a phoned-in box. It's basically, we have to do a Space Marine box. Here's our Space Marine box. All the others, you can definitely tell, have had some thought and some imagination put in. You got the two tanks for the infantry, Imperial Guard. You have the orcs are great, and what really shows how bad the Space Marine one is that when a Horde army, which is basically designed to all look the same, the Tyrannids, that has more variation than the Space Marine box. This is just bad. This is horridly bad. And I honestly think that Space Marine box is just terrible. I don't like it. I would just go out, get the starter set, and then buy whichever bits of you want extra. Terminator's Inferno Squad, plus Assault Intercessors and some Outriders. Fantastic bargain. The Captain with a jump pack, if you're doing Blood Angels, you've got Saffron, Dominion Saffron straight away. So yeah, this is not a great box. Or seriously would not. Just avoid the Space Marine one. Get the others. It's as simple as that, to be honest with you. Anyway, that's the battle forces for this year. I will be, of course, doing a complete price breakdown and comparison, as always, when they're out for, the prices are out. Which reminds me, yes, the prices are out soon, so these are coming out around about the time of the Epic. Epic has to come out soon. Honestly, if it's not coming out, if it's not released or announced to be pre-ordered this weekend, it may be too late for Epic. We'll be talking about that later. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Have a great day. And of course, if you want to save money on your Warhammer, check Raylan Games down below for up to 20% off and free delivery after £20. There is Forbidden Planet, like comics, nerdy stuff, all that cool stuff. Games, toys, plushies, etc. They're down below as well. There is my comics, my merchandise. And if you, honestly, I think there's Patreon as well. But as always, honestly, I do mean this. If you wish to support my channel, I would rather you go and click on one of the links, buy yourself something, support the channel that way, rather than just giving me money. Because hopefully, if I can get monetized from YouTube, why would I ask you guys for money? I would probably end up closing my Patreon down for that. Honestly, if this channel gets monetized, I will close my Patreon down. There's no reason to ask for money if I can get it from a better source. I just don't like that idea. Okay, bye-bye.